Here we go. All right, you guys. So thank you all for being here. Let's make sure that we get comfortable. I'm cheating today. I'm wearing socks until we stand up because it's a little chilly in here. So make sure that you are nice and comfortable. When you're comfortable, let your eyes gently close. Let your palms come to rest, face up. Today we're going to focus on a 5-count inhale with a 2-count pause, 5-count exhale with a 2-count pause. So when you're ready, allow your eyes to close. Take your first few cycles of breath and just allow your body to breathe you. Check in with your body. Make sure that you're really comfortable. So if you need to do any adjustments, any fidgeting to check in, make sure that everything is really okay. Please do that. Always make sure that you are comfortable and that your body is coming first. Okay. Once you're all adjusted, begin. And what we're going to do is I want us to do, before we go ahead and move into our rectangle breath, I want you to take a full diaphragmatic breath, but I want you to only use the low belly. So take a slow, deep inhale. Push that low belly out. Don't worry about using any of the parts of the breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, gently drawing it in. And then again, slow, steady inhale, fill only the low belly. And exhale again, gently draw that in. Let your hands, if you need them, to move right underneath the top of the rib cage. And now I want you to take that slow, steady inhale, using only the middle section of your breath. And exhale, allow that area to release. And again, take that middle area. And exhale, allow that area to release. And then finally bringing your hands up to the top section, just underneath the collarbone. This time I want you to breathe into the top portion of the lungs, so just the top portion of the lungs. Slow, steady inhale. And slow, steady exhale. And then one more time. Just the top of the breath. And then gently release your hands. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use all 3 parts, filling from the bottom, going to the middle, up to the top as we inhale. And then as we exhale, releasing from the top and moving all the way back down to the bottom so that we can gently get that full engagement through the low belly. So when you're ready, coming from the low belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, 1, 2, inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, 1, 2, and again, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 1, 2. So now making sure from here, you're working at a pace that feels comfortable for you and your body. I want you to complete 4 more full cycles of breath, your count. So please go with the length of time that feels best for your body. At the end of your 4 cycles of breath, please bring your hands over your heart, palms facing down. So when you're ready, let's move into the 4 based on your count, 4 full cycles of breath. When you're done with your 4 cycles of breath, gently come back into a steady inhale, exhale, knitting the inhale and exhale together so that it's one wave. Beautiful, you guys. From here, we're going to go ahead and move into our song. So we'll begin by singing the sound of ah, then we'll move into the sound of o, and then the sound of mm. On the 4th breath, I invite you to set your intent, something that you most need as an I am statement. So when you're ready, again, using that deep diaphragmatic breath, slow, steady inhale. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly allow your hands to come down. Pause here. Notice the difference in your body. When you're ready, allow your eyes to open softly, the corners of your mouth to turn upward in a smile. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our blocks. So, all right. Using and ready for blocks. Let's begin by bringing the blocks over to the left side. Okay, so we're going to start with them on the left side. I'm going to back myself up a little bit just so that it's a little bit easier to see. Please always remember that if your knees are getting grumpy with being bent, you're always welcome to find the extension. All I ask is that so that you don't hyperextend, please put a little padding underneath your knees. Okay. So what we're going to do is, it all depends on how flexible you're feeling this afternoon. We can start with them at the top. Okay, if you think that that's what's going to make it easiest for you. Once we're in the posture, if you need to adjust, you can do that. So what I invite us to do is, beginning here, just allow everything to shift just a little bit. So allow the right hip to come forward just a little bit. Allow the left hip to shift back just a little bit. And then when you're ready, take a long inhale through the arm. And then as you exhale, squeezing through this left side, gently draw your torso over to the left and go ahead and allow both hands to take each block. So one hand to each block. And just breathe. And just notice you still have some activation going on that left side. So gentle squeeze through the left side. One more cycle of breath. So see, as we do this, if you can continue with the 5-count inhale, the 5-count exhale that we started with. Whether or not you put a pause at the top and the bottom is completely up to you. And then when you're ready, what I want you to do is hold on to both blocks. So you're going to gently, slowly unwind, bringing the blocks to the front and then bringing them over to the right side. Coming back to the center, first of all, I invite you to go ahead and realign the pelvis. And now this time what we're going to do is we're going to allow this left hip to come forward a little bit, the right hip to ease back. Okay. Again, you can have your right hand already resting on one of the blocks. Take a deep inhale, lengthen that left arm. Squeeze through that right side and feel that side gently draw you over to the right. Lengthen and allow that left hand now to hold on to a block as well. So we're just here, just twisting, breathing here. You're still feeling the activation through that right side. And again, we're using the 5-count inhale, 5-count exhale. So find your breath, steady it. Please remember that this is not about taking a big, deep inhale. This is about taking a little bit less breath so that the breath can be steady and smooth. One more cycle of breath right here. And at the end of the breath, go ahead, take both blocks, inhale, bring them back to the front, and again, over to the left. So we're going to do this whole thing again. Come back to the center. And then one more time, allow that right hip to ease forward. Allow that left hip to ease back a little bit. Okay. Left hand comes to rest on the block. Inhale, lengthen into that right arm. Beautiful. And when you're ready, I want you to squeeze through that left side, drawing that left side together and bringing the trunk around. Right hand comes to rest on the block. Breathe here, a couple cycles of breath. 5-count in, 5-count out. And now, if your body says yes, and you'd like to take this one step further, I want you to gently begin to walk the blocks out. So now we're changing and we're adding one more element. We're moving from a twist and we're adding a little bit of a fold. Granted, this does not need to be anything large. This can be small. If, as you're moving into this, You are noticing that that right hip really wants to lift. Try squeezing gently through that right glute to just re-anchor yourself. So this isn't about how deep you can go. This is about, can you stay steady in your breath? And can you allow your body to soften into the posture through the breath? Beautiful. Awesome, you guys. Everybody looks fabulous. And now one more time, if your body says yes, and only if your body says yes, you can go ahead and lengthen the blocks just a little bit further away. And again, if that right hip finds the need to lift, try squeezing through the glute just a little bit. If you discover once you're here that this is too much and you need to walk back, please give yourself permission to do that. Always remember that we're working at the body's invitation. So just breathe and let everything soften. And then very gently, very slowly, the first thing I want you to do is walk the blocks back so that your torso is again in an upright position. Once your torso is in an upright position, then lift the blocks and move the blocks over to the right. Okay? Once you've done that, now it's time to come back to the pelvis. Take a moment, make sure that you are square, first of all. And then from the square, what you're going to do is allow that left hip to come forward just a little bit and allow the right hip to recede just a little bit. Right hand this time, let it rest lightly on top of the block. Inhale, lengthen into that left arm. And when you're ready, exhale. This time I want you to squeeze through this right side. Use the strength of the squeeze to wrap the rest of the trunk around so that the left hand can rest comfortably on top of the block. And we're going to just repeat the same process that we did over on the first side. So again, using the 5-count breath, let it be smooth. At no point should you be gasping for air. This should be very comfortable. Think of your breath as a little bit of a metronome. It's holding the count for you. Just be really present to that. Take a moment and notice what your shoulders are doing. Take a moment to notice what that left hip is doing. When you feel that your body has relaxed into this pose sufficiently, then I want you to walk the blocks just a little bit away. Gently bringing yourself into a little bit of a fold along with the twist. And as you're here, just take a moment to notice if you feel any difference between this side as you twist to the right versus how your body felt when you twisted to the left. Again, you're using that smooth 5-count breath, slow and steady. And again, if you notice as you're here that the left hip really wants to lift, just gently squeeze a little bit into that left glute, reactivating that left side. Following that smooth breath. If and only if your body says yes and invites you to go a little bit deeper, go ahead and move your blocks a little bit more. It's not required. What's required is that you listen to your body and you work with what your body is telling you it's comfortable with. Notice any sensations that are coming up as you're following your smooth 5-count breath. One more cycle of breath. And now from here, before you unwind, I want you to walk your blocks back so that again, your torso is upright. From here, we're going to go ahead and leave the blocks over on this right side. Inhale, lift and lengthen into that left arm, bringing yourself all the way back over. Take a moment to realign through the pelvis, making sure that we're nice and square. Lovely, beautiful, you guys. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of cactus arms today. So what that means is, and I apologize for the big bulky sweater, is that the lower part where our triceps are on the upper arm is parallel, okay? So, and then the arms are upright. So we look a little bit like a saguaro cactus. From here, what I want you to do is see if you can find those inner edges of the shoulder blades and then gently begin to squeeze them together. Just finding that opening. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, I want you to release that. Now, keeping that 90-degree angle, I want you to bring elbow to palm together if possible. And from here, I want you to find that really strong squeeze through the upper arm. So you're really focusing on drawing those shoulders together. Breathe. Again, using that smooth, steady breath. And the exhale, release, let everything soften. Come back out one more time. I want you to squeeze those inner edges of the shoulder blades together. Working to see if you can keep the upper arm parallel. And now this time, as you exhale, still keeping that upper arm parallel, I want you to go ahead and hang. So now we're a little bit like a scarecrow. So the upper arm is working a little bit like it's in T formation. Oh. As long as your fingers and your shoulders say yes, keeping that upper T, I want you to see if you can tip those fingers a little bit behind you, just a little bit more. So now we're really opening in. Breathe. Your muscles may begin to shake here, and that's great. Release. Bring them all the way back up. And exhale. Gently draw together. Breathe. If your body says yes, I want you to take those upper arms and gently squeeze them towards each other. So we're really focusing on the protraction, making sure, if possible, that the upper arms stay parallel to the floor. And then let that relax. Let the shoulders come down. Roll the shoulders. Both directions, checking in. Okay. And then just take a moment and start with the right ear to the right shoulder. And in a very, very, very slow circle, gently bring the head down so the chin is moving towards the chest. Gently roll it over towards the left. Making sure that you are opening to the front of the throat. As long as your body feels safe and comfortable, you can allow the head to tip back. And then coming back over to the right ear, to the right shoulder. When you're ready, if your body says yes, again, we're going to reverse that. So again, open to the front of the throat to keep any over compression through the neck at bay. Then gently bringing that left ear to the left shoulder, bringing the head down, chin to the chest, and gently rotating right ear to the right shoulder. One more time, gently bring the head down. This time, go ahead, as long as your body says yes, interlace your fingers and go ahead and wrap your hands right at the occipital ridge. We're going to go ahead and make this a little bit of an isometric movement. So what I want you to do is feel those elbows begin to draw forward and gently press the head into the hands. There's no actual movement happening. All we're doing is accessing the neuromuscular junctions, waking things up gently, slowly, with patience. And then gently let it release. Let the hands come down. And one more time. Right ear to the right shoulder. Gently allow it to come down, chin to the chest. Make whatever observations you need to as to how your body's feeling, gently moving left ear to left shoulder, opening through the front of the throat so that it feels safe to tip the head back. And then reversing that movement, again, opening into the front of the throat, left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder. Let the head come up. Again, work into the shoulders. Beautiful, you guys. Good. Everybody feel okay? Yes? Does that feel okay? All right. So we're going to do some slightly stronger posture today. So please, please, please take care of your body, okay? All right. So from here, you're going to take one of your blocks. We're going to start with what we did yesterday. So moving from here, keeping the second block handy. Okay. The first thing I want us to do is come into tabletop, okay? And from tabletop, spread wide through the fingers. All right. Using your 5-count cycle of breath, you're going to gently let the hips lift, open through the belly, taking yourself into cow. Gently gazing forward, 2 to 3 feet. And when you're ready, exhale, releasing that. Pressing down through the palms, dropping through the hips. If your body says yes, you can activate and gently begin to work those upper arms a little bit towards each other to really accentuate the opening in the thoracic spine. Last part, tuck the chin high up and into the chest. Release that. Okay, from here, coming back to neutral tabletop, I want you to take just a moment, curl underneath your toes. And only going back as far as your knees say is safe, you're going to gently begin to bring the hips back towards the heels. So notice, if you need to stop right here because that's as much flexion as your knees will allow, that's great. If your body can continue, only go as far as your body says yes. So whenever you are at that place, feet are approximately hip distance apart, what I want you to do is press down through the palms, lift the knees 1 inch, and simply breathe. So you can do this from all the way back here, and you can do this from up here. It really doesn't matter. You're still using your long, steady breath. 5-count inhale, 5-count exhale. Gently release that, bring it down, come back onto the tops of the feet. Check and make sure that that felt safe for your body. From here, I want you to come down onto the forearms. Thumbs are going to rest right along the block. You'll know you're in the right position when you can lengthen back behind the block and touch the very top of your forehead to the closest edge of the block. So the block that's closest, the edge of the block that's closest to you. Okay? So from here, I want you to take a moment, engage through the core. So really draw that low belly up and in, and then gently squeeze into the glutes a little bit. Once you're there, gently inhale, slowly, slowly. I want you to feel the shoulder blades wrap around and drop down. Use your breath. Come all the way towards the front of the block and touch your chin to the top edge of the block. Exhale. Gently press yourself all the way back, squeezing through the glutes. And now allow the very top of the forehead to touch the edge of the block that's closest to you. You are still squeezing through your glutes. Now allow them to release. From here, lift your head, curl underneath your toes, and once again, as long as this feels safe for you, so the first part might be just curling underneath the toes, you guys. There's a lot of fascia at the bottoms of the soles of our feet, and it can get very tight. So please honor what your body is telling you. If your body says yes from this position, squeeze the glutes, lift the knees 1 inch, and breathe. Using that steady 5-count breath. And gently, slowly lower down. Here, as long as it feels comfortable, open your arms wide. Depending on what your knee is telling you, you can either stay with your hips high, moving into puppy pose, or you can shift your hips back towards your heels, moving into extended child's pose. Again, please honor what your body says it needs. 5-count steady breath, letting everything release and relax. Okay, from here, making sure that we give our bodies a little bit of lateral movement. I want us to open into the rib cage. You're going to take both blocks. So, blocks are in each hand. You're still in either puppy pose or extended child's pose. Walking your hands with the blocks over to the right. I want you to shift the hips over to the left. Breathe your 5-count steady breath into the opening. Again, you're working at the invitation of your body. What feels best? Where does it want to be so that you can lean in to the opening? Moving into what feels good. Because our hands are on the block, this gives us a little bit of possibility to play. So if your body says yes and would like to do a little bit more, you're going to go ahead and drop a little bit more deeply into that left shoulder as you begin to bend gently into that right elbow, lifting it a little bit. So very subtle movement. Please focus on your body. Slow, steady breath. Gently release that. Walk your blocks back. Again, you're paying very close attention to how much flexion you can handle in your knees. From here, allow the arms to get wide. Hands are still on top of the blocks. All we're doing is we're deepening our opening a little bit. Take a moment to come back into your extended child's pose or extended puppy. Hands are still resting on top of the block. And we're just moving just a little bit deeper, making sure here that we're not overstretching anywhere. So if it feels like it's not quite exactly as comfortable as you would like it, what I invite you to do is find those inner edges of the shoulder blades, gently begin to draw them together. And as you do that, also feel the bottom edges of the shoulder blades draw down towards the waist. Notice if that changes the movement, the opening, the comfort level in your posture. Breathe. And then gently, slowly release. We're going to move ourselves now over to the left. So from this extended posture, whether it's puppy or whether it's extended child, you're holding onto your blocks and you're walking your blocks over to the left. Again, only going as far as is comfortable. And I want you to shift your hips now over towards the right. Breathe deeply on this side. Because this is the second side, please notice if you have a difference in the sensations that you're feeling here. Each side gets used differently throughout the day. So as we do the same movements, they're bound to feel a little bit different from side to side. Honor that. If your body says yes, and you're still breathing into that slow 5-count pace, you're going to go ahead and gently drop a little bit more into that right side. Gently bend and lift a little bit into that left elbow. Minor, small adjustment. Letting your body breathe you. Steady 5-count breath. And then gently, slowly release. One more time, walk your arms out, wide. Again, you can do this from high hips or low hips. Please pay attention to what your knees need. Breathe. And again, one more time, if your body feels that it would rather do something a little bit more isometric, feel the inner edges of the shoulder blades squeeze, and then feel those shoulder blades draw down to the waist. And then gently, slowly release. You're going to bring the block, one block back to the center. Okay, moving gently the other block out of the way. You're coming back onto the forearms. Thumbs are resting up against the block to hold it steady. You are realigning yourself, making sure that as the arms extend, shoulders back, it is easy for you to touch the edge of the block that's closest to you at the top of the forehead. So we're going to go ahead and do another set of this. If your body says yes, and it would like to do something just a little bit more, what I want you to do is curl underneath your toes, and we're going to take this into a full dolphin. So please be mindful of what your body needs. To be right here is perfect. But if your body invites you to do more, curling underneath the toes, squeeze in through the glutes, lift the knees 1 inch, and then gently lengthen into the legs. So now we're in dolphin. You can still rest the very top of the forehead on the block. Take a moment to feel the sensation that's now working in your shoulders. We have lengthened the lever. So again, squeeze into the glutes, Find and engage that lower core. Deep inhale, slowly hover over your block so that your chin can touch the top of the block. And then just as slowly as you exhale, press it back and let the very top of the forehead touch the block. Bend back into the knees. Come onto the tops of the feet. Gently move the block away. And from here, take yourself into extended puppy. So this time, let the hips stay high. Reduce the amount of flexion on the knees. Arms can come out as wide as they need to. Top of the forehead touches the mat. Breathe and soften. And gently, slowly walk the hands back in. Come back to tabletop. I'm going to look up for a moment. Would you guys like to do that one more time? Give me a thumbs up if you would. All right, we'll do it one more time. Bring your block back in. Come back down onto the forearms. Set yourself up so that you've got the very top of the forehead touching the edge of the block closest to you. Thumbs are resting against the block. Fingertips are spread slightly, palms down. Knees and hips are approximately hip distance apart. So if one was enough, work from this place. If you'd like to do a second, curl underneath the toes. Squeeze into those glutes, lift the knees 1 inch, and then squeeze and lengthen into the legs, coming up onto the ball of the foot. Breathe here for a moment. Find the sensation in the shoulders. When you're ready, gently squeeze the glutes, engage through the core, and gently hover yourself forward, touching the chin to the block, and exhale. Slowly, gently pull back, pressing down through the forearms, letting the top of the forehead rest on the block. Breathe. Feel the sensations through the back. Bend into the knees. Come onto the tops of the feet. Gently move the block out of the way. Take yourself again either into a downward facing puppy with the hips high, or this time shift it into an extended child's pose. Breathe and feel the sensations in your body. Gently, slowly, let the hands come in. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and readjust ourselves so that we're sitting on the mat. How's everybody doing, you guys? We okay? Beautiful. Way to go. Knees feeling okay? Give me a thumbs up if they are. Everybody's knees perfect. Awesome. I like seeing that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just kind of do some opening now. Since we've been working protraction, retraction, we're going to take a moment and retract. Hands are either going to come fingertips out, or they're going to come fingertips facing forward towards the glutes. Soles of the feet are on the mat. Take a moment right here and just feel those inner edges of the shoulder blades work together, squeezing gently. Use that 5-count breath. Let it be smooth. Now from here, still squeezing, we're going to go from having a straight arm to gently bending slowly into the elbow. When you've gone as far down as you can, which might be resting the forearm on the mat or close to it, engage through the core and then very gently, very slowly press down through the palm to bring yourself back up and again straighten into the arm. Breathe. Release that. Now I want you to take your arms and I want you to make big circles with your arms, one at a time. Really allow them to be large. Oh. And then we're going to reverse that. Bring it forward one at a time. Good. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Grab your chairs. From here, gently bring yourself to standing. And I'm going to go ahead and change our camera angle. Okie dokie. All right, everybody have their chairs. We're going to use our chairs. Place our hands on our chairs. Please remember, you guys, if this is too much flexion for your hands, always, always have a blanket handy so that you can change it and you don't have as much flexion. So the heel of my palm is on the blanket and my fingertips are touching the chair. Okay? So palms are facing down, they're on the seat of the chair. Okay, here we go. So what I would like you to do first right here, making sure that our feet are approximately hip distance apart, put a gentle bend into the knees, and then gently lift the hips up into the ceiling. Feeling again a little bit of stretch through the belly as we move ourselves into cow. Breathe. And then exhale. Allow those hips to drop. Allow the area in between the shoulder blades to lift and separate. Still gentle bend in the knees. Feel those arms, upper arms, gently draw towards each other through the front. Really pull through the pectoralis muscles, major and minor. Then gently release. Here we go, you guys. When you're ready, you're going to do this only as far as your body says yes. You're going to stay stable through the trunk and the arms. And I want you to begin by finding balance through that right or that left foot. And I want you to step that right foot back. Just about 2 feet. Once you're there, before you do anything, bend into that left leg for a moment. And just feel the stretch down through the calf and the Achilles tendon. So that right Achilles tendon is gently lengthening. The heel is off the mat. Then when you're ready, shift your body weight forward just a little bit, staying on the ball of the right foot. Get ready and lift that left leg back. So now our legs are about 4 feet away from the chair. Heels are lifted. Our glutes or sits bones are still a little high. And what I want you to do now is take those shoulder blades, feel the bottom edges draw towards the waist, drop the sits bones so that when you look at yourself in the computer, you are one long straight line. Beautiful, you guys. Squeeze gently through the glutes. Engage through that low belly. Please don't let that low belly be loose. We want to go ahead and build the intra-abdominal pressure. This is what activates and helps stabilize the back. Gently, slowly, shift the hips back up. Walk the feet back in so that once again, we're about 2.5 feet or so away from the legs of the chair. Now come down onto the forearms. Palms are still face down, and you can let your thumbs touch. Elbows are slightly narrower than the shoulders. Let the head and neck hang right here. Gentle bend in the knees if you need. And just allow everything to relax. Breathe. Smooth 5-count breath. Beautiful. Good, you guys. Or shall I say ladies, excuse me. From here, walk the hands back to the front edge of the chair seat. You're going to start with this left leg. I want you to step it forward. So now the toes are almost in line with the chair. Gentle bend in the knees, shift the body weight into that left leg. Get very light with the right. It's kind of hanging out, moving all over. You can move it in lots of different directions and you're nice and stable. I want you to very gently bend into this left knee, making sure that you are taking care of your legs. Step that right leg back. As long as your body says yes, release the chair, come up into high lunge. Start with hands to the hips. Gaze is forward. Squeeze a little bit into that right glute. Waking up that right leg. Beautiful. Ladies, you look fabulous. If and only if your body says yes. While we're still in this high lunge, you're going to take the right hand, wrap it around so that it touches the back of the right thigh. Inhale, left arm up. Gaze moves up to the ceiling. If your body says yes from here, because now we're in a big balancing pose, lift your heart towards the ceiling. And as you lift your heart, right fingertips will slide down. Left hand will draw back. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. And gently, slowly, release the hands, bring them back to the hips. If and only if your body says yes, begin a gentle bend into that right knee. Allow it to hover, keep squeezing. Breathe. Release. Let the hands come back to the edge of the seat. Again, shift your body weight into that left leg. Step that right leg forward. Right here, I want you to shift from side to side through the hips. Connecting in with your body. Okay, you guys, are you ready? We got one more side. Everybody ready? Can we do this? Yes? All right, here we go. Shift your body weight into the right leg. Get very light with the left. Let it swing. Do whatever. It's all over. And then when you're ready, step it back. Big step. Come onto the ball of the foot. When you feel secure, Release the seat of the chair. Let the hands come to the hips. Squeeze a little bit more into that left glute. Breathe here for a moment. Find the balance. Find the connectedness. Find the steadiness. 5 count inhale. 5 count exhale. From here, left hand goes to the back of the left thigh. Right hand, inhale, lift it up. Again, find the balance. Gaze is now towards the ceiling. Breathe. If your body says yes, lift your heart. Slide that left hand down the back of the left thigh and allow the right hand to move back. Breathe. 5 count in, 5 count out. And then from here, release the hands. Hands come back to the hips. If your body says yes, gentle bend into that left knee. Let it hover. Breathe, squeeze into the left glute. 5 count in, 5 count out. Release. Let the hands come back to the front of the seat. Pause. Shift the body weight. Let it come into the right leg. Get light with the left. Bring it in. And bend into the knees. Top of the forehead can touch the seat if you choose. Hands can release. You can dangle if you choose. You can walk your feet away a little bit. Moving into a full forward fold. Let everything soften. Hands can come to the elbows and very gently sway from side to side. Five count inhale, 5 count exhale. From here, I want you to squeeze strongly through the glutes, and you're going to either roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time or come up with a flat back. Once you've come all the way up, lovely, deep full inhale, big breath of joy. Exhale. Hands come down to the heart. Pause. Feel the connection to your body. And now, believe it or not, it's already time to come back down onto our mats. So we're going to move our chairs out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and, again, change the camera. Here we go. All right. When you're ready, keep your blocks handy, y'all, because we're going to use those for our twist. Come all the way back down onto the back. Take a moment, draw the knees high into the chest, and just enjoy the squeeze. Whether you're taking hands just below the kneecaps or hands behind. Again, always being mindful of knee flexion. Breathe. Now, gently bring both legs up. Begin with the right leg. I want you to bend into the right knee. Bring it across so that the ankle dangles just off the top of the left thigh. Leg crosses just above the knee. Right hand will go through the hole. Left hand will go to the outside. Depending on what your body says, you're either going to interlace behind the knee and fold the leg, or you can interlace just below the kneecap. Both are fine. Take a moment and breathe. Feel the body as it finds its way into the pose. Again, making sure that you are working at the invitation of the body. So you are not trying to wrench it. You are not trying to squeeze it. You are not trying to manhandle it into a place that it's not comfortable. Right now, you are looking completely for what feels good. If you are noticing that you have some tension through the right glute, just try something really simple. Just squeeze strongly into the right glute, not the left, just the right. Just squeeze, squeeze, and now let it relax. And notice if that changes the sensation dynamic for you. Breathe, soften, and one more time, taking just the right glute, squeeze, slow, steady breath, still using your 5-count inhale, 5-count exhale, and let the squeeze relax. And now gently unwind the hands. From here, I want you to slide this right leg all the way over so it's as if you're twisting your legs. You're crossing your legs, but tightly. Okay? Now, very gently, you're going to take this left hand on top of the right knee. One moment. Before we do that, grab your blocks, place them over onto the left side in whatever manner feels best for you. Once you have your blocks in place, left hand again comes over on top of the right knee and very gently draws the right knee towards the blocks. This right hip will lift, that's fine. Once your legs are on the blocks, let everything relax. Allow the right arm to come out into T formation, whether it's palm up or palm down. Breathe here. Let your body soften into this place. Again, always being in a place of invitation. A place that feels good, that feels safe, and that you can feel a change and an opening. Moving this into an isometric pose. If your body says yes, you're going to squeeze gently into that right glute and press that right knee into the left hand. There's no movement. Once again, we are working to activate the neuromuscular junction. Breathe. And now let it relax. Once again, coming into softness. When you're ready, gently release that left arm. Bring both legs up. Unwind the legs. Take a moment to readjust, making sure that the torso is long. And before we move any further, I want you to go ahead and, as long as your body says yes, bring your hands palms facing down underneath the sacrum and the hips. Toes are now pointed. Drawing up and in, gently, slowly, draw a line vertically down towards the floor. Breathe. Squeeze those glutes. Really use them. Please do not try to do this without the power of the glutes. Breathe. This is not about how far you go down. This is about how strongly you can engage the glutes. And then squeezing the glutes, bring the legs back up. Good. Yay. Here we go. Now taking that left leg, bend into the knee. Bring it across the right. This time left hand goes through the center, right hand goes round. Hands are either going to interlace behind the knee or bending into the knee. Interlace them just below the kneecap. Either way, you're going to end up with the leg folded on that right side. Breathe here. Again, finding the space of invitation. Steady, 5 count inhale, 5 count exhale. If you'd like to play, try squeezing just the left glute. Just the left. Squeeze. Notice how it changes the posture. Notice how it changes the sensation as you're here in it. Keep squeezing that left glute. Squeezing the left glute, and then gently allow it to relax. Breathe. Beautiful, everyone. And let's go ahead and do that one more time. Squeeze into the left glute. Squeeze a little bit more. Steady 5 count, inhale. Steady 5 count, exhale. Gently allow it to release. And then when you're ready, unwind the hands, lengthen. You're going to keep this left leg crossed over the right. Before we twist, move your blocks from the left to the right. Okay, once you have your legs crossed, right hand is now going to go ahead and come just above the left knee. Left hip is going to come up, and you're gently, slowly going to bring yourself over so that your body can rest on the blocks. Left arm is out in T formation, palm upper, palm down. Breathe and soften. Five count in, 5 count out. Lovely. Okay, if you want to make this an isometric movement, squeeze into that left glute. Once again, press that left leg against the right hand. Squeeze. So again, there's no movement. This is just squeezing and waking up the muscles and the brain. Let's get that connection firing strongly. Breathe. Smooth 5 count inhale. Smooth 5 count exhale. And let it relax. One more time. Let everything soften. And from here, release the right hand. Bring both legs up. One more time. Lengthen into the legs. If you need to, rock your hips from side to side, placing the hands underneath, palms facing down. Before you move, squeeze those glutes strongly, and then gently let the toes draw the line vertically down towards the floor. Again, this is not about how deeply you go. This is about how active you can make the glutes, how active you can make the lower body. Breathe. And inhale, squeeze your way up. Bend into the knees. One last time, give yourself a gentle hug. Let your hands come on top of the knees and draw a slow circle with the knees. You're going to move in both a clockwise and counterclockwise motion. And then move into your final relaxation. So whether you need blankets, whether you need bolsters, whether you need eye bags, find the space that feels best for you. We're going to go ahead and do one last full body squeeze so that we can really soften into our relaxation. So when you have the props that you need, take a moment and I want you to take a slow inhale, 5 count, and then begin to squeeze. Start with the glutes, the legs, the feet, the calves, the toes, and move into the hands, the arms, the trunk, the shoulders, the core, the face, the neck. Tighten everything down and relax. Take this space into your relaxation. Coming back to allowing your body to breathe you. Coming back to a space of gratitude. Let everything go. Let everything relax. Gently, slowly, begin to find your way back. Fingers and toes, hands and feet. Come back into the breath and then allow, if your body says yes, to bring your arms up over your head and stretch with your breath through the nose, bones to skin, fingers to toes. Give yourself a gentle hug, and when you're ready, gently roll yourself up into a seated position. One more time, hands to prayer, thumbs against the heart space on your sternum. You guys, thank you all so profoundly much for today, for your practice, for your breath. I honor the divine in you, that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste, and may the blessings be.